technologies, tools, equipment, and machineries. It's nice to have all of you here, at least to see all of you again in this capacity. Sunday, Miriam, long time no see.
Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Yes, sir.
Long time. We missed you guys.
I keep talking about everybody that, at least for the short period, participated in the practical part of the program. But let's not make everybody, let's not go back to that. We have a model for today, Greenbet Africa, Green Waste Management, Technologies, Tools, Equipment, and Machineries. Just to remind us, it's co-funded by the European Union. Can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, sir, we can see you.
Okay. Let me go with this slide. So Greenbet mission is to offer an innovative capacity building program on green waste management in Nigeria and Ghana. So our Ghanaian participants, I think they are here. Is any of them here with us today? Any of them here? Our Ghanaian participants. Okay, let's just fire on. Maybe they will join us. Join us while we're running the model. I think they probably are an hour ahead or behind. Not too sure. Okay. So now we're here to talk about green waste management, technologies, tools, equipment, and machineries. What does this entail? The machines we use for green waste are not different from the ones we use for, depending on the industry you're in, manufacturing industry, production, all the same. These equipment are even similar there. But now we want to talk about them specifically as it concerns green waste management. So our objective for this model is to gain an overview of waste management equipment, machinery employed within the value chain, understand the specific functions as best as we can of each technology, be it the traditional or the modern waste management techniques. I hope you're all with me. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. So thus far, waste management equipment are highly essential. From the handling, generation to disposal, you use one equipment, one tool, one machinery or the other, and they all have a specific function throughout the value chain. So how you use them and how you carry out your duties, you one way or the other, it helps know whether okay you are able to complete this task in the required time, safety wise, and if it meets the capacity of the work you're doing. So now I've broken it into two. You can't talk about the modern equipment, machineries, and tools without going back and seeing the traditional waste management technologies. So here there's traditional waste management and there's modern waste management technologies. When we talk about traditional, they are the ones that came before the modern ones, the precursors, as I put it. And this include collection carts, buses, sewage systems, aqueducts, landfills. The modern ones are the ones we see every day. The garbage trucks, the compactors, the palletizers, the segregation bins. Those are the ones we see. Now, let's talk about traditional waste management techniques, equipment, and tools. If I'm too fast, please draw me back? Am I at the right speed, or you want me to tone it down a bit? Hello?
I think we are fine.
Okay. Okay. So we'll be fine for that. So it's going to be as interactive as possible. I might not fill in all the blanks here. Because like I'm meant to I'm not filling all the blanks here. So you might have maybe a practice that has that's been carried out or had been carried out in your area of the country, and we've not noted here. We also like sharing our own example, not only those of the Europeans, but though theirs have been the ones documented thus far adequately. But if you feel that there's what's mentioning, it's an interactive class, yes. I'll give you a cue for you to present. Okay, so traditional waste management equipment, tools, and machines. What does this all mean? Now, prior to the Industrial Revolution, that particular point in human existence was the point when production became more mechanized. Engines were created, transistors, and the likes. So prior to that period, waste was more manageable compared to now. Individuals had pits. I have a waste. I put it there. I light it. Put it. It goes up in flames, and that's it. Grease you use in the kitchen are reused. You reuse it. Metal was more precious in the sense that there were blacksmiths at probably every junction. So the blacksmith takes the metal, he fabricates it for another purpose. So recycling was done in that sense. Bricks were clean, reused, lumbers and boards were used, horse leathers, boots were repurposed for other means. Clothes were more like hand-me-downs. Oh, this is my father's clothes. I'm using it. Oh, somebody else using it. I think the only time they might discard it is if rats goes into your cupboard and eats it. So obviously, you will notice that, and then that is probably the point at which most of them throw away their clothes, their old clothes. So if this or a mother or somebody, some famous person in some generation, this was the clothes they wore, and they put it up for auction, and you wonder how much it cost because it wasn't throwing it away wasn't something common then. Except something happened to those clothes, those rags, or the new fashion was in town. They never had issues of nylon, plastics, disposable, or unbiodegradable materials. Those are the problems of this generation from the 19th century downwards. Plastic coke, plastic bottles. The waste there were dumped in water bodies, buried, dumped on land, set fire on openly. Now, which brings us to ancient Rome, sewage system. So, how many of you have watched Gladiator? I want to make this interactive, so I'll digress a bit. How many of us have watched Gladiator, the movie? Hello.
Yeah,
Hello. Or maybe maybe
I
I'm
think
too
I
old.
have.
Have you? Are you sure? Yeah. Okay. So Gladiator is more a depiction of the Roman time. Most other movies have had that kind of depiction, but I want us to, because once you watch a movie, you should also understand technology. And takes your mind back. It used the sewage system um, that transferred waste out of the city, building a network that ran through the city and ended up in nearby downstream water bodies, rivers, Though we look frankly on those things now, but still, it was quite ingenious because the city might be far up on close to a hill, and they built underground caverns, sewage systems that led to the water and water bodies. Maybe the water bodies aren't directly connected to that city. So they did this in this way. So it's possible to avoid proliferation of disease, bad odor, and less polluted air, making cities much more habitable. Hello. Okay. Why? The Romans are what we call are regular in a way. Their behavior and their attitude was more like what you see at regular navies are. You see our navy officers and they look clean. Their environments are clean. No stain, nothing. The Romans took the environment quite seriously, especially the ones they live in. So they built these caverns. Can you see me? Can you see my cursor, mouse cursor? Hello.
Yes, we can see your cursor, please.
Okay, so now these caverns were built. This is a sewage system. Passes the sewage from different. Let's say it's a face me and face you. Everybody has a point where it links into this particular part, and it flows down to the river. If you look at this, I'll go to presentation mode and probably come out a bit. People, I hope nobody's sleeping. We'll make this as enjoyable as possible. Are you all there?
Your network is
We are awake.
breaking.
Can hear you, sir. We're not sleeping. We are awake. Yes, boss.
Okay. Okay. Is the network better now?
Yeah, way better.
Okay. You see this point here? This is this cavern down to the river here. So that's how they connected it. It leads here, moves through the city. The city is above here, goes, passes and underground and comes out here. So I pity you if you are the one living close to the river. Trust me, it's not. I'm guessing it's not site or some. Now the aqueduct. Still, these structures are still in existence till now. The present-day government has tried to repurpose it to still do the same function, and just to keep it as a heritage site, so it still works for some, and in Italy. So the aqueducts. In addition, there were aqueducts and water pipes. So they dispose of waste and bring fresh water into the city. So based on it was the Roman time, they only did long pipes. So in this particular structure, there are pipes inside to the city, and probably the opposite pipes. The biggest one would be the other one on the other side, the patient room. So into the city, and the led even to
Your network is not too good, though. Hello, please, we can't hear you, sir. It seems as if the Zoom platform is better than this Google platform. Or what do you guys think?
I think it's the location of where he is.
Yeah, I strongly believe it based on where he is. We all know how the network can be very bad at that location.
Hello. Hope it's better now. Hello.
Welcome back, sir.
Yeah, I'm just crazy how the network can be sometimes. Okay. Thank you. Sorry. Can you see my screen?
Yes, yes, you can see it.
Okay. Uh, okay. Okay. So now, like we're talking the aqueducts. This is the, you can call this the forefather of our present day piping system. Maybe piping into the house, as long as you're connecting water from whatever source into the house. This the aqueducts were from were the inception really. From municipal areas, the aqueduct builds the structure for you getting water from whatever source and linking it into your water, the country, the states, the municipality aqueduct. So we borrowed this from the Romans, and like I said, I was saying yes, lead. They used to use lead to connect this created this piping system to link water from the shady stream down to the city because they found it was very unhealthy then, and they changed it to terracotta. So even then, you would wonder at that point in time. Now we complain about lead. Even then, they had considered this very, very intently and stopped using it because the water didn't come out. The impurities in the water were more. It helped take waste and bring more to the city. So depending on where it's coming from, this might be built to take water into the city. Another on the other side might be built to take water out of this wastewater out of the city. So the Romans were very, very particular about health and making sure that everybody, the environment and those around them were healthy. Can you see me now? Can you hear me? Can you see me? Any
Yes,
questions?
can see you and can
Yes,
hear you.
see you now.
Okay. Now I want to play us a short video. This video more or less. I hope it's the network would even just a bit of justice to get the main picture of why I'm playing this video. Reason is, can you see this video? Just it's not playing yet.
Yes,
Or is it
yes,
on your screen?
yes.
Okay, so this we'll play it without sound. That's it. Okay. Now I want to ask your different observation. What did you see based on what we just talked about? What did you see? Give me your take.
So let me contribute. So based on the video that I just played here, you could see like a tunnel that passed through a mountain or like a hill that is connected outside. And from that mountain, you can see that waste or fluids or liquid is passing through the tunnel outside the city or outside from the hill or from the mountain. So that is what we observed.
Okay. Any observation? Any different observation? At least the best based on the picture and the network, the best you can observe. Okay. Just move on. Yes, that is how it was built then. Built transport. That okay, this comes out and it goes into the river. Where she entered from, if I'll take it back, let me see. I'll break it short, make it just like a picture for us to see and analyze. Now, here, this is like a normal gutter system. So this is in front of the courtyard. Water waste from the courtyard goes into it. Now she drops into, this is their own regular gutter underneath the building, underneath the whole place. Now the other third thing I would like to show is, let's get to that point. Now, yes, if you look on top here, let me make a presentation part here. Oh, it isn't showing here. Okay, stop it. I have to do it without. Okay, let's get to that point. Yes. Now you see this top part here where there's a light showing. Now this part, let me show. This part here, it's connected to everybody's room. Imagine, let me start using your name so everybody gets it. Imagine Adeyemi, Sylvia. We all have different rooms, different blocks. Michael, he has his own block. Choma, you have your own block. So now our waste gets dropped here. I'm not just talking about you bathing, your food waste when you wash your pots. No, your and at the end of the day, it leads back.
I didn't get that. Your what?
Your waste, say liquid waste, solid waste, everything. You see this light at the top here on the roof here. So everybody, let's say that is my own apartment. Somebody else's apartment is connected. You, Syria, yours is connected. Michael's own is connected, and all our waste drop down to that gutter she is trying to get out from, and they flow to the sea. So the Romans, and this was more or less depicting the kind of the British times, were similar in their structure. So your waste comes down there and goes into the river. Is that understood? Or we'll get to the modern time. Like I said, this is the traditional technology we're focusing on now. So we get to appreciate what we have now and why it was made, the reason why it was created. So, you know, everything you do now is more or less trying to refine the technology of the past. Your cell phone, your handsets now was to refine the phone system then. You can't move it, it's always in your house, always hanging. And then they made a cellular phone, which was it was very expensive to own. The same here too, the sewage system. So our present day sewage system was as a result of the past sewage systems. Now you can see the ocean here, the sea, the ocean. So when you pass Third Mainland Bridge, and for us in Nigeria, it happened to them too at some point. But later on, there was an appreciation for nature that, so no, this is not good. It brings epidemic and the likes. Yes. Okay, so that is it on. So what we've just shown are these two. Ancient Rome, sorry, this particular one, the sewage system. Any question? Any question?
Your line is breaking. I can't hear you.
Hello. Any question? Are you with me?
Yes, yes, I'm with you. I can hear you.
Okay. Okay, now we'll move to landfill. The Romans had their own landfill, which was Median. They had their own landfill. But the first landfill, which is a common thing, a way of disposing of waste in those days and even till now. But the first landfill was in Greece. So people took their things they didn't need, they dumped it on one point, and then they set fire on it. But it was the reason why was initially people would just take it and put it on their street corners. And so imagine a beautiful city next to all of us just carry our junk and put it on the street. So a law was passed forbidding that. So in order for you to dump anything, you need to go like a mile and dump it. So that's when the landfill came about. Everybody, okay, let's walk this distance. Somebody had already thrown something, we'll pile our own together and set fire to it at the same time. So that was the reason for the first landfill. This now coming to cesspits. Can everybody see this?
Yes.
Okay, now this is a regular. I don't know. Has anybody heard of a pit latrine? A pit
Yes.
latrine. So it's just imagine. Just imagine the cesspit was often placed on that cellar floor. So in your house, you would have it. But it also was accustomed to it, it's a particular part of the house where for the rich, because it wasn't easy to maintain. So you have cellar floors, sometimes flushed by rainwater, and so see how high this man has to sit. Let me. Now, it's
We
built in the
can't see
cellar,
your picture.
dug deep.
We can't see your
So your
pictures.
house, huh? Can you see it?
Okay, yes, I can see it now.
Okay, now, so what the dirty business you do behind in that dirty business room goes down, and the liquid, because it's not always foolproof, the liquid gets absorbed into the walls. At the end of the day, the solids are the one that drops down. Now, how many of you watched the match yesterday? Are we all football fans? Hello? Nobody's saying anything now.
Yes, I did.
So imagine us having the conversation here. All of us sit down separate at our separate spot and start conversing and say, that guy didn't play well. How do you think the conversation would have gone? Especially for this guy, he's worried that his team lost badly. So how do you think the conversation would have gone? Is that the kind of conversation you would like to have here? Hello? Okay. Since everybody is quiet today, don't worry, you get to the modern part. Let's just go through the traditional management and waste management techniques and technologies. Yes. So now the job the job of clearing the solid the waste excrements was down to this man who is called the gong farmer. The gong farmer. He was highly paid, but people look. It's also a job that was looked down on. So he mostly comes to do this at night. So he gets paid a lot, but obviously you know the kind of discrimination that will happen. You go to the market and you want to buy, and they're like, "Is that's dirty money?" He's coming to buy foodstuff. There are words going around. So he was also, yes, he was highly victimized in that sense. But the gong farmer. So, and this waste carts. So prior to the invention of engines, movement was by horsepower and manpower, literally. So designated people move waste across the city to dumping sites, either via horses, as you see here. They dump them in rivers or oceans. They get paid to do it. So there wasn't any invention of the engine. So imagine how you let's say this is just for one particular household, and you are packing it. I remember in those times there were also industries. There were also farmlands, which just those two produce enough waste to make this man go like 50 times, and it's still not done. So this probably is just, let's assume this is just for one household. So when you see our modern day trucks, tend to appreciate that it has come a long way because of those difficulties and those issues then. And then they didn't have a compacting system. Here, the much you can do is probably step on them, try to press them together, but your legs can hold how much strength to compact that together. So that was how compactors in the modern equipment came about, mechanized trucks came about. So that is all on traditional waste management tools, equipment, and machines. Any question for now? Any question? Or any take on maybe a traditional method that we've not talked about, or it's a traditional equipment or tool that is that you're common with and that we didn't cite here. We're all here to learn too. If nobody's responding, I'll give you a hard test, hard exam. At least show me that you're following this particular model. So Sunday, are you there?
So basically, yeah, in the
Okay.
year 2024, sorry, 2004 actually, in Lagos State, aside the fact that some people do carry like that kind of a cart, hand push cart in collection of
Yeah.
waste, there were also some locally made motorcycles with a cart at the back. They move around to carry dirt, and then people pay them for it. So they come to your house, they see your dirt, they charge you for the amount of debt they are collecting from you, and then you pay them as well. So gone are the days where they use motorcycles. Aside from the carts that you just showed, there were also motorcycles locally structured as well that people do use to carry waste back in the days.
Yeah, that's true. You know, yes, you did that in anyway. Let me not refer to that now. Anybody wants to contribute to? what you just said. Any contribution?
Okay. Oh, I just want to uh, contribute. I don't know if we attribute what I would say to a modern way or is a traditional way of waste management. Uh, that's composting.
Yes.
That's I don't know. I think
It's
to
both
some that
traditional and modern. Yes, because
modern.
composting was well done during the traditional part. Like I said, they had the most waste they could make was pollution in the sense of coal, maybe coal train or burning of or heating their system. They use coal. Now coal is one of the major contributors of global warming, carbon monoxide and the rest. So those days, the most that could happen is that, but their produce, um, they did a lot of composting then. They take this waste to the farms. Yes, they did a lot of composting. So even modern days, the problem with us nowadays is, where is the land to do composting? What about the knowledge? There they had farms. All of us were living in probably small shacks. So composting was part of the family things handed down, this skill. But now, first, where is the land? And even when you have the land, you are concerned about probably one other skill or the other. An engineer, you are doing something else. You are a banker. You are it's a technician, a teacher. So composting, it requires you more or less. You at your free time, you want to do those things. You want to go about it, but you pack your waste, your food waste, your biodegradable waste together, and over time it ferments. You get me? So, but now it's we leave that to industries because it has become something that we'll talk about that in the modern. But I don't want to reveal it now. We'll talk about that, and there's a video. I hope it plays well that you would really appreciate when it concerns composting. But there was a lot of composting done in the traditional sense. Okay. Any question? So Ogunjobi, long time no see. I haven't heard anything from you.
I'm listening attentively.
Okay. I trust you. Trust you. Okay, so now, yes, we are done with the traditional and we'll go to the modern. Yes, that is what we can relate to. It's more relatable because we see these things and we can easily point it out on the roadside or elsewhere. So modern waste management requires it embraces innovations, automation, advanced waste management, and contributing to more sustainable, safe, and better waste handling practices. we, if you compare it to the traditional sense, you saw like the gong farmer, for example. Most of the work he didn't have any protective device and safety, and that particular job. We know when we pass certain areas and the odor, and we feel like, now imagine you handle those materials. You need to be kitted. So he wasn't. So our present day machine technology equipment are meant to cater for that, to have that as the foremost concern when we are handling waste management. Now, another thing, yes, another risk for that gong farmer was hazardous. It had strong odor, making it a less desirable profession. The work of gong farmers was physically exhausting, with no ventilation in that particular space, that cesspit, making the night-long job even more challenging. Even more challenging. Pardon me, even more challenging. Certainly were not always maintained, and there was even an occasion, well-known occasion, if you even Google it, that even the roof caved in on one particular person while he was there, and imagine you being drowned. He drowned in excrement, so it was quite dangerous then. So even so, you tend to appreciate the so based on tragedy, technology came about, and you bring out new equipment and tools to ensure that those things don't happen again. Sorry. Okay. Yes. Can we see this video? At least it's not playing yet, but can we see it?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so I'm going to play the video. It has sound. I'm going to play it. So, each year, Joe said. Sorry, hold on. Somehow, all of it needs to be either recycled or otherwise disposed of. So, seems to be discovered more than half a ton of everything from empty pizza boxes and eggshells to broken dishes, appliances, old tires, and the kitchen sink. Is it new? Worldwide, that's all.
We can't see the video playing. It's just an image.
Okay, I'm coming. Each year, Joe Citizen discards more than half a ton. Is it playing now? Everything from empty pizza boxes and eggshells to broken dishes.
No, it's not playing now.
Okay.
No, it's just the audio.
It's just audio. Okay. I think I need to do something. My apologies. I didn't know there wasn't any audio play. My apologies, please. Okay.
Each year, Joe Citizen discards more than half a ton of garbage. Everything from empty pizza boxes and eggshells, broken dishes, appliances, old tires, and the kitchen sink. Worldwide, that's almost 1 billion tons of stinking trash every year. Citizen discard. Each year, Joe Citizen discards more than half a ton of garbage. Everything from empty pizza boxes and eggshells, broken dishes, appliances, old tires, and the kitchen sink. Worldwide, that's almost 1 billion tons of stinking trash every year. And somehow, all of it needs to be either recycled or otherwise disposed of. How do they do it?
The video is not showing, though. It's just the audio.
It's just the beginning of an extraordinary. John can empty
I
bins
can't hear anything now.
and once they're full of trash, the trucks head for a delightful spot known as
I
the
can hear now.
Trucks carrying waste for recycling deposit their load here.
We can hear, but we can't see the video.
Can you see it now?
It just looks like rubbish.
No.
There's gold in them there hills.
Yes.
Load is worth
Okay.
hundreds of
You
dollars.
can see it now.
Going to pay for it in its present state. To be separated. Doing that by hand would require a small army. So it's a good thing they have George Atrastain and a friendly garbage monster known as the Single Stream Recycling Facility.
Pretty incredible. It's noisy, it's dirty, it's very unglamorous, but it's a fun place to be.
George's smelly monster is a state-of-the-art sorting machine.
No, this is a sorting machine. So when we come to it later on, it's easy for you to understand.
Constantly fed by loaders, it can sort over 300 tons of waste every day. and relies on George to keep the wheels turning. First, high-powered fans blast a jet of air through the trash, suspending lighter paper, metal, and plastic, leaving the heavier glass bottles to fall into a separate pile. Next, a steep conveyor bounces the garbage across a series of rubber wheels. This causes the light paper products to continue upward. Heavier metals and plastics drop down onto yet another conveyor belt. Made of metal, leaving behind the plastic and other materials. Unfortunately, that's where the machine runs out of tricks. A conveyor transports the remaining waste to a team of operatives who grade the plastic into various bins under George's eagle eye.
This is our container aisle, and it's a fun, noisy, very glamorous place to be. But most of our staff actually prefer to be up here because the pace of work is brisk, and there's always a chance of finding someone else's nugget, something fun and exciting.
Once George and his team have finished having their fun, the waste must be prepared for sale and transportation. So it's fed into these high-powered baling machines, which turn everything into identically sized cubes. Each of these bales of paper is now worth around $200, while this bale of aluminum is worth almost 10 times as much. Thanks to their uniform shape, they can be easily lifted with standard forklifts and loaded onto trucks. Carry them off to start a new life as a pizza box or a coffee cup. But of course, some garbage is just garbage. This stuff is no good to man or beast, so it's about to be sent down into a trashy hell from which nothing returns. This is what George and his chums call the pit. It's huge, it's noisy.
Now the trucks here are either there's a bulldozer,
a four-story house and the size of a football field.
and we'll come to that, but just remember there's a bulldozer here.
Swallows up the waste from over 1 million people. The garbage is heaped in at an extraordinary rate.
And see the difference in the garbage truck. There's an open garbage truck and there's the closed one, the regular municipal one.
It's a never-ending line of massive 18-wheeler trucks, which park beneath an opening, allowing a combination of bulldozers and grabbers to fill them up. No sooner has one truck been filled to the brim with sticking trash than another appears ready for loading. Each truck carries 5 times as much garbage as a dump truck. And once they've accepted their load, they head for the burial ground. "31 miles outside of San Francisco, the trucks finally arrive at the Altamont landfill site. Right now, it's like the barren landscape of some cold, unfriendly planet. But today's landfill is tomorrow's golf course. California sits 1.2 billion tons of waste. The massive basin currently being filled has been lined with clay and a huge impermeable membrane made from high-density polyethylene and geotextile. This lining means each basin acts a bit like a giant plastic container, preventing the waste from contaminating the surrounding soil and water table. Almost half of this waste is organic material, like chicken legs and rotten tomatoes. And as it decomposes, it generates potentially explosive gases. What's more, any trapped air can cause potentially dangerous subsidence. To remove the air and make the trash good to build on, it needs to be squashed. And that's a job for the lords of the landfill, a team of enormous bulldozers and compactors. With over 7,700 tons of waste arriving every day, they must work quickly. First up is the compactor. With a pressure of nearly 40 pounds per square inch, its 50-ton wheels act like giant rolling pins, crushing the waste into solid mass. Next, it's the bulldozer's turn. They cover the waste with a layer of soil and recycled car upholstery known as auto fluff, which helps to seal in the smell and deter scavenging animals. Finally, everything is covered with a permanent layer of soil. It's not quite the end of the story, because even this buried waste is put to good use. As the rubbish rots, it gives off valuable methane gas, which is harvested by these wells, which are scattered across the site. The methane extracted feeds a gas turbine, which produces enough electricity to power over 6,500 homes. What's more, there is also a pilot project to turn some of the methane into liquid natural gas, which will eventually fuel the city's fleet of refuse trucks. So next time you leave your bins outside of the house for collection, take a moment to ponder the incredible journey it's about to take.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So what's your take about the video? So what we're going to do is, so any technology you see it now, there's a reference. The video is more to act like a reference to any new technology we see going down or talking about. You've seen the video and you know how it operates. So that's how we're going to continue with this model. We're probably going to take care of generation and hopefully collection today. Then we'll leave transfer, processing, and disposal for tomorrow. Or let's just cover generation as much as we can today. Then collection, transfer, processing, and disposal we'll leave for tomorrow. Okay. We've seen the video. So these are the 5 essentials: waste generation, waste collection, waste transfer, waste processing, waste disposal. Before I move further, did everybody get to watch the video?
Yes, sir.
Sound wise, at least at the end I got down right. Were we able to hear the sound too? Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Now these 5 essential parts: waste generation. Sorry. I'll go into slide mode for our benefits. So this part where there's waste, encompass waste generation. We get items from the shelf or wherever we get them from, or we produce. Yes, we have farms, livestock, and the waste we generate is covered in this particular aspect of waste. The waste generation is within this point. So this leaf is more or less the produce itself, symbolizes the produce itself, and the waste we generate. This is covered. Now, collection and transfer are encompassed in waste collection. According to this diagram, diagrams are different. The essential part which you know is there are 5 essential steps to the waste life cycle. Then the next is waste processing. Waste processing, then disposal. Like you saw in the video, disposal is the last thing. When you look, you can't get anything from it. But you remember I mentioned that and some of the waste that are being done, degradable waste, like you said something like chicken legs. Why? because it wasn't properly separated. You take it to the landfill like that. So this particular industry was concerned about separating plastics and the likes, not organic waste. So to that particular industry, that particular factory, that organic waste was useless to them. So it ends up in the landfill. But certain industries focused on that, and we'll talk about that when we get to that point. Now, yes, this is the 5 essential parts, more expatiated waste generation. These are waste from household, commercial facilities, industrial sectors, paper waste, restaurant waste, food waste, construction site waste. You wonder, they are building a house, a 4-story building, a 5-story building, probably a 25-story building for a company. And maybe the former structure, they had to break it down to build this one. Where are those wastes going? Not all can be used because the mixtures are different. Where are they ending up? Waste collection. Garbage trucks, transfer trailers to a facility and collect the waste from garbage bins. Next is waste transfer stations. These put waste together and use, like you saw, balers, compact it together. They sort it out first. The waste that are needed, the valuable waste from the ones that they feel okay are not useful. Separate it, put them together, compact it together, and use balers, and they send them out to the processing part. The processing part, these are the people that use it to create. This is where the recycling comes in. They recycle it and make other products from it. It's the waste processing part. So once they've sorted it out, they take it to the waste processing part. They too, there's an element of also processing too. Sorting they do. So during this whole movement, certain equipment are used multiple times. The compactors and the bulldozer machines that you saw on the landfills can also be used in waste collection or waste stations. Putting them on the conveyor, you're not using one person shoveling it is most times not possible. So they use bulldozers to move them onto the conveyor belts, which takes it to the sorting machine. Area. So just you might see them come up multiple times. It's not like if it's a mistake, we leave them out here. No, or where they are mostly used, we concentrated on that part, but they can be used in multiple sections. Disposal, the last part. This is the final stop for waste material that cannot be recycled or reused. This material gets disposed of in ways where it would not cause harm to the environment or the people. Like again, referencing the video we just watched, the last part, it wasn't useful. They had to cover it with first a material underneath it, a clay material underneath it, to act like a leather or a nylon.
Can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
Line was
Can
breaking.
you hear me now? Oh, okay.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes.
We can hear you now.
The body. Yes, sorry, the burden of bad network. Okay. I will just summarize what I've just said on that last bit. So this is the waste management step expatiated. Here we talked about there were 5. Can you hear me?
Yes, please.
We talked about generation, collection, transfer, processing, and disposal of waste. And what I said here was breaking it down to waste generation, to household waste, commercial waste, industrial waste, where they, how they come about, from construction, from restaurants, from commercial facilities. Then the next step is waste collection. Waste collection here is your waste bin, your garbage trucks. They move this waste to waste transfer. They transfer it to this waste. This waste is used, can be made to some other material. It is the waste sorting station, waste transfer station that sorts those things out. And the equipment that are used here are conveyor belts, like we saw in the video, sorting machines, and the likes of that. The next part is the waste processing. And there's a bit of sorting out to do here too. Processing it and changing it from one form to another. Garbage goes to landfill, hazardous waste goes to special facilities. It's just like batteries. They tell you the way you dispose of the battery, you just can't dispose it with your regular waste. So hazardous ones are treated of disposal, maybe nuclear waste, chemical waste. They are not disposed of in the same manner, or the equipment used are different in disposal. Are we good? Did you get me? Hello?
Yeah, we can.
Loud and clear, please.
Okay. Okay, now going to waste collection. We'll treat this and leave the other topics for tomorrow. Okay. So we have once we treat waste collection, transfer, processing, disposal, treat tomorrow. So waste collection, collection bins, containers, temporary storages of waste during collection rounds. So you use trucks transporting waste from different sources. The equipment predominantly used here are waste collectors. Waste collector requires personal protective equipment to ensure safety with handling waste. These are waste. So it's advised that you separate your waste from glass to paper waste to wood to organic to metal to plastic waste. If you Google the different kind of segregation, these are segregation bins. Many people have a different way of it's not, some can be 6, some can be 7, some can be 4, but they are all saying the same thing: you segregate your waste. So don't be confused that this is hard-coded, that this color pattern is what you see elsewhere. No, everybody is different. But what they all say is separate your waste. So here, blue bins are used for papers, green bins are used for plastic bins for glasses, and red bins are used for metals, black bins for organic waste materials, brown bins for wood and wood materials. Now, these larger bins, which we mostly see in the municipalities like, say, Lagos and Accra, Port Harcourt, maybe Kaduna, yeah, they're these big cities. I don't know any other city apart from Accra in Ghana, or as in, I know of their names, but I don't know whether they are in the same category as Accra in Ghana. But you find these bins there. Some are being faded out, but there are different systems now in place, waste management system in place to collect bins. But this is a municipal type of bin, large enough for different people to dump their waste, and for collection trucks to load them into the trucks. Yes. So here you might wonder why not different colors or different waste. Yes, funny enough, I even thought of that too. But imagine one of these can cover like half the path for a road path for a street. So more or less, you do the separation, and when you come, once you drop it, let's say you have a bin close by or in a nylon bag here, and you have cans inside or bottles inside. It's the job of the waste management agents or officers to separate them. So mostly we leave normally it's the biodegradable waste inside. The other ones that they can separate, it's separated and they take it apart and take it somewhere else. Like you saw the segments of that truck, there were two segments, one for reusable materials, while the other ones for non-reusable materials. This is our truck, waste collection trucks. Later on, we'll see another kind of truck, which is different from this. This is the waste collection trucks, which takes your waste materials. It has a compaction section there, so it can go for multiple trips, which if you compare it with the man in the transitional picture who was pulling a truck, who couldn't compact it, this truck probably might go 2 or 3 times the route of that man. Well, that man will go multiple times, say 50 times, just to clear a whole street, because he can't compact it. He can only compact it to a particular extent, but this truck has a compaction system inside, and it's hydraulic in nature. After that, when it's full, it takes it to the landfill and dumps it there. It doesn't, yes, it dumps it there at that point. Do we have time for this video? Yes, let's play this video.
What happens to my garbage? Every 2 weeks, a collection crew shows up to pick up your garbage. Up to 40 trucks make more than 1,000 stops a day. Each waste collection operator walks 21 kilometers during a 10-hour shift,
Now
a half marathon, while lifting 10 tons of material.
This is the compaction system here. Compaction system
The
here.
collection vehicles crush materials to reduce load volume and increase trips to the landfill. Head to the Trail Road Waste Facility, southwest of Barhaven. All trucks are weighed when they arrive, and again when they leave, so the city can track how much waste is entering the facility. On average, TRIP receives 1,000 tons of garbage per day.
The vehicles, when they arrive on our landfill, drive up onto our scale house here behind me. The scale attendants process 600 vehicles a day. They guide everyone on where to take payments from those customers who have to pay a fee.
At the small loads area, materials can be dropped off for reuse or recycling. There's no charge for glass, metal, plastic, tires, scrap metal, and electronic waste. Brush and cardboard are accepted for a small fee. Any vehicle that brings in a load for disposal, big or small, gets directed to the tipping face.
The tipping face is the active zone at the edge of a landfill. The amount of garbage we're standing on grows every day, which means the tipping face moves continuously.
Collection trucks head back to the scale house after they are empty. Heavy equipment operators compact newly added waste with an enormous bulldozer and a packer to flatten it as much as possible. Other measures are taken for safety, sustainability, and odor control.
We put up fences around the site to stop garbage, such as plastic bags, from flying onto the highway nearby. We have a company that bring in hawks and falcons to deter the seagulls from coming onto the site and spreading the garbage. So our tipping face at night is covered with a tarp, soil, and witches.
Once an area is full, it is sealed with a raincoat-like barrier and various layers of soil, then topped with grass. The Trail Road landfill opened in 1980, and the area that is now full is much bigger than the active area. The overall waste footprint is 85 hectares, more than 150 football fields wide. But how much space is left? In 2021, we learned that our landfill could reach capacity as early as between 2036 and 2038 if we keep doing what we're doing. But if all residents strive to create less garbage together, it can last longer. So, what else happens at Trail Road? The city's waste facility is a highly engineered site. A lot of effort goes into protecting the environment. Groundwater is monitored carefully, and leachate is collected and pre-treated right at Trail. Leachate, or garbage juice in layman's terms, is a mix of liquids from wet waste and added rain or snow. After 24 hours in a settling basin, tankers take it to ROPEC, the city's wastewater treatment plant. Power Trail is a private-public partnership that generates electricity from landfill gas, powering 6,000 homes and businesses. CO2 and methane form when organic matter decomposes in the absence of oxygen. Wells capture these harmful greenhouse gases to prevent them from entering the atmosphere. At an outdoor composting facility, leaf and yard waste is turned into potting soil and then sold to residents so they can reuse it in their own yards or community gardens. The administration building was designed with a Silver LEED green building certification, housing offices in the front and a garage in the back.
This building here behind me is where we store, clean, and maintain our heavy equipment, such as the water truck for dust control, our rock trucks for soil management, and then, of course, our compactor and bulldozer. Our compactor weighs 56 tons. That's the weight of 6 elephants.
After a long day, they are stored in the garage. At 7 a.m. the next morning, the waste facility will bring in more garbage. Your garbage. Good news? If you make full use of your green bin and recycling bins, you can keep 75% of your waste out of the landfill. But the best way to reduce waste is to avoid creating it. Buy less, repair more, choose reusable containers, refuse unnecessary packaging, sell, swap, donate, re-give, or repurpose what you no longer need.
Yes, yes, and yes. Video was the video playable or watchable for all of us?
Yes, we watched it.
Hello.
Yes, it was.
Okay. Yes, other technical tools for waste collectors. They need to map out where they are going. So they know that they've passed that part and they've checked it off their checklist. So what helps here are technology, GPS, GIS technologies. These are ones in a truck that shows, okay, the best route to go and to collect waste. So there are internal gadgets like waste collectors utilize technical tools for route optimization and monitoring, GPS, GIS technology, real-time monitoring, and like that. So we just so that is it for waste collection. Waste collection. So like she said, the bulldozer. She made mention of the compactor, like the weight of 6 elephants. So most of us, we have this funny feeling when we see a compactor on the road, we feel like we want to dare the driver. Please don't. Those things pack a punch. They are strong. They are mad strong. They can destroy a building, go through a building and come out the other end. They are that strong. So they need that kind of power. For those who had the benefit of going through mechanical drives, we talked about torque, right? Who can remember what torque is? Hello? You've forgotten. Who can remember what torque is? At least for most of us who are in that class, mechanical drives, torque. So I'll little by little, I know we'll just remind you of certain aspects of the things you've already learned. So, hello? Who can remember what torque is? Or are you Googling the answer now?
So, sorry, sir, please, can you repeat the question?
Who can remind us what torque is? Torque, when it concerns machines.
Truck. T-R-U-C-K.
Torque.
Okay, torque. Okay.
Yeah.
In physics, in basic physics, torque is defined as the product of a force and the perpendicular distance between the line of action of the force and the point of action.
Okay, in physics, good. Now, in layman terms, for those who are not physicians here,
That I can say is a turning force.
turning force. The torque is high, the speed is low, but the speed is high in between, but you know you are giving up more of one for the other. So these bulldozers, these compactors were made for just that purpose, the torque strength, to be able to carry out what they are doing. Yes, I mentioned something about truck, which would cover up later again. Now, you see this truck here. This takes your waste from the waste collection point to the landfill or the waste processing area. There's a separate kind of truck, an open bed truck, and that unloads it and takes it to what is in the landfill, in the landfill, the open bed truck. It puts those garbage there and takes it to the waste sorting centers. So there are trucks. So you see multiple of this equipment here and there. They can be used in different stages. They are more used here in waste collection than in the sorting centers. But they are still garbage trucks, either way. Any question? Do you have any question, my friends, my colleagues, my brothers? Yes. Yes, Femi, fire on.
Thank you, sir. So my questions are two. The first one is, will we get the slides for this course shortly after the class, maybe posted on the WhatsApp group? That's my first question, sir.
Okay. Do you want to ask the two first, or you want me to answer one first?
Okay, let me ask the second one too. Then the second is for tomorrow's class. Will it be like an hour or two? I actually want to appeal if we can make it shorter, so that it can be 4 to 5, and we round off.
Yeah, okay. That one would have to be agreed, depending on how that's why I try to cover as much as possible today. So we'll see how we'll flow tomorrow. Hopefully we'll finish in time, but let's just say how it is. And maybe it won't. It will be a bit, some minutes shy of an hour at least, and if it's some minutes shy of an hour, well, we'll try. We'll try. Okay. As for the materials, yes, it is very, very possible to get it after the presentation, and so that's not a problem. You get and you read on it and see other aspects before we have a class tomorrow, and your contributions would be much appreciated. Any other question? Mr. Sunday, no question from you? Or are you only, have you looked at this slide and the presentation and see a money aspect that you want to go into?
I don't really have a question. What I wanted to ask is, what I wanted to say is an observation. Okay. Something I noticed somewhere around Lagos, but I don't know if you'll be in position to answer that question. It has to be with the Waste Management Authority, like the LOMA. They've been here too. I don't know if they're here. I know we talk about the traditional waste collection and management and all of that. I still observe that in some parts of Lagos, I was somewhere where I noticed somebody went into the septic tank to collect, not somebody, just a group of persons, but that was, it was done at the middle of the night. And I was like, what's this and what's going on? So they now told me, they have a group of persons that come to collect feces, that's from the sockaway and all of that at the middle of the night. So I've been looking for a way how I can also raise this, because I learned that it's a regular occurrence in some of these places and maybe around Lagos, that's in the remote areas of Lagos. So what was Lagos? I don't know if Lagos State is aware about that, and what did they plan to do on how to stop that? Because I can imagine the impact, the health implication of one doing that. So that's one. Then number two, I discovered that in our class today, virtually everybody present here today is, we're all Nigerians. Since we're all Nigerians, I've not seen any Ghanaian team here. So I want to ask, are we disjointed? Are we disconnected? Or are they having their own separate class on this module? Or I don't know if I'm right or I'm wrong. So these are just my observations and comments. Thank you, sir.
Okay. As for the first part, I am as surprised as you at that. I hope Loma is hearing, or I'm sure they will get to hear at the end of this module. So either they address it to me, or maybe the next class you have with them, they will want to address that particular each situation. But I think they are modern day gong farmers. I'm surprised. They are modern day gong farmers. So probably they pay them well to do those things. It doesn't make sense, especially when a little epidemic in a place like Lagos would spread. But I'm sure the Loma people would be very interested in answering that question. We'll be keen to answer that, and maybe they might be even as surprised as I am too. As for the Ghanaian brothers, I'm still expecting them. I'm wondering one part of this presentation today. Hopefully, maybe it's down to something else, or the invites. But I'll check up on them again and find out why. Obviously, this presentation is being recorded, and we'll send it to them if for some reason it was as a result of one issue or the other. I'd have loved to hear our Ghanaian brethren too. Maybe tomorrow will be a better session, and we'll have all of them here. Any other question? Partners area, Loma, Pan Atlantic University, and the rest being component by.
Sorry, I have a question.
Okay, fine on, please. Fine.
My name is Michael. Okay, so basically, I want to know, does the Lagos State government have a scheme for the coast? Do they have Loma at the coast that deal with waste that goes into the sea? And then, because why I'm saying this is because I remember there was a time when I was in VI, there was a particular rainfall that, I don't know, it pushed so many waste into the sea. so you could see a lot of waste flowing through the beaches and all of that. So I want to know, do they have like LOMA or maybe another body that is in charge of waste at the coastline areas and stuff like that? And how well, if at all they do, how well is it managed?
Yeah, I'm not speaking for Loma. I guess this is their question, but I would think the Environmental Waste Management Authority, so is it NEMA or something, would be, because the coastlines are more within the federal jurisdiction. Lagos is for Loma, but coastlines are within the federal jurisdiction. But like I said, Loma would better answer this, because even on the states within their jurisdiction as a state, as a body within the state, they should also have an arm around the coastline that's within the territory of Lagos. So yes, but Loma, you will still put that question to Loma. Maybe if there's a representative here who would answer that, but if not, I'm sure at the next session they would have given us their answers, and hopefully I'll be able to present it to you.
All right, thank you. I also have another question.
Okay.
So basically, this Mr. Sunday made mention of waste, physics and all of that when it's been extracted. So I have lived in Ghana before, and I can tell you for free that there was a time whereby when waste like that, when they are being collected from homes and
Yes.
their drainage system, they actually go and dispose it at the beach. Like there's a particular place in Accra, they do that until the Ghana government then improvised and made it a way whereby wastes that are collected are deposited. I think they built a facility whereby such wastes are deposited and they are reinformed, like they process it into manure and then they start selling it to all these farmers that would want to go into cultivation and stuff like that. So I am asking, does the Lagos State government have a scheme or a facility that is like that also collects these wastes and process it into renewable, like process it into something that is more useful to the environment, like in terms of manure and other organic, do they have a facility like that is in charge or that does such?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I guess what you mean. Yes, on the normal, I think on the scheme, last time we had a discussion with them, yes. I don't work for Lama, I work for IT. But yes, I think in their modus operandi, really, they do have where it's situated, where it is, or how the collection process is, be for them to answer. And hopefully they'll answer at our next session, or they would have provided us an answer at that point in time. But yes, every municipal agency, it's part of their procedures to have those facilities to cater for those kind of waste. So yes, it's a very good question to raise, and it's also good for us to even have an answer, and even how we can even patronize them if we need to. So I'm sure we'll get a reasonable answer at the next session. Any other question, please? Miriam, I've not heard from you.
I'm listening.
You're listening. Okay. Thank you for listening. So, in the absence of any other question, like I said, I would give thanks to the European Union, who co-funded this Green Vet Africa program and model, our partners in ARIA, LOMA, Pan Atlantic University, Wizzy Academy, everybody. Thank you. So we'll meet tomorrow for the next, the other module, for the continuation of the module on green waste management, equipment, tools, and machinery. I wish you all a great evening to rest. Please rest well. Don't stress yourself, and we'll meet tomorrow again. Have a great evening. Okay, good job. You raised your hands, please. Yes, fire on. Before
Yes,
we
just a quick one. I want to show, I think I've said this the umpteenth time. The recording, especially for
Yes.
the lawman. The recording,
Yes.
especially for the lawmans, we have not been receiving them.
I didn't get that. Repeat.
Yeah, the recording,
You will be
especially for the lawman. The
okay.
lawman presentations, we have not been receiving them. And I hope you are going to receive the
Okay.
recording for these presentations as well. For me
Yes.
particularly, I need the recordings a lot for me to follow thereafter because I'm a very busy man. In order to be able
Okay.
to
No.
pass the assignments and tests.
Yes, you get the recording from us. At least you get the recording from us. I'll try to inquire why the recording hasn't been shared for Loma with everybody here already. Okay.
Thank you.
If that's it, I wish you a great evening's rest. Have a great night.
And you too.
Good night, sir.
Good night, man.
Good night, sir.
Good night.